Hi everyone, I'm James Hawthorne. I'm a National Academy of Sports Medicine certified personal trainer, and today I'm going to take you through a simple and fun 20-minute home workout. This is great for days that you can't get to the gym. It's my philosophy that consistency is probably the most important part of any fitness routine. It's not about going out there and killing yourself on any one day. It's about getting out and doing something that you enjoy every day. In 20 minutes, is enough to get your heart going and kick your metabolism into high gear, which is an important part of any weight loss or strength plan. Most importantly, fitness should be fun. It shouldn't be a part of your daily routine. It should really be more of a break from it, kind of like when we had recess as kids. So with that in mind, I'm going to take you through a very simple 20-minute home workout. It works all the major muscle groups, and it's simple because you don't need any other outside equipment in order to do these exercises. Along the way, I'm going to show you a few different variations of those exercises, ways to make them easier and ways to progress them harder, as well as some simple variations. I'm sure that you've heard other fitness instructors talk about engaging the core, and that's a very important thing to do for every exercise, but it's important that you do it the right way. So we're going to also focus a lot on that during our simple exercise routine. First thing that we're going to do, though, is we're going to get a little warm-up in. It's really important to get the blood flowing and get your heart rate up. That way it kind of helps loosen up your muscles, get blood and oxygen to them, and reduces the chance of injury so that you have a better workout. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to jog in place for about 5 minutes. Warm-up should be 5 to 10 minutes in length, enough to break a sweat, but not so much that you're out of breath and exhausted for your workout. So 5 minutes to jogging in place, it's going to look like this, okay? Now after 5 minutes to jogging in place, I want you to go ahead and do some high knees. These are a little more aggressive and will help get your heart rate going a little faster. So I want you to do 60 seconds of high knees, which is going to look like this. So we're really working on getting those knees up and staying on the balls of our feet. The last thing that we're going to do is 60 seconds of jumping jacks, also focusing on staying on the balls of your feet. That'll also help engage your calf muscles and act as the first exercise of our routine as well. Jumping jacks will look like this. Good. So once you've done your warm-up, why don't you take a few deep breaths. Also important to take a sip of water. Maybe you have a bottle of water nearby. Very important to be hydrated before your workout, during, and especially after. First exercise we're going to do is the lunge. Lunge is great for your lower body, for your glutes, for your quads, for your hamstrings. So I'm going to give you a side angle so you can see what I'm doing. Essentially, you're going to take one giant step forward, and you're going to go down until your back knee gently touches the ground. Then you're going to come back up. You're going to switch legs. Okay? Now my arms are out in front of me for stability, and also because one way to make this exercise harder is by adding weights. Now the trick on this is to keep your core engaged, like I talked about earlier. The way to do that is to draw your navel, your belly button, into your spine. Engaging the core is not simply flexing your abs or sucking in your gut. It's using these muscles right here to draw your navel into your spine and to keep your glutes, your quads, your lower back firm and contracted. The importance of this in the lunge is so that you don't end up bending too far forward, and also so that you don't bend too far back like this. You want to keep your spinal column straight, and you want to stay stacked. Shoulders over your waist, over your knees. So once again, the lunge, forward, let the knee tap, and back. Arms forward, down, and back. And what you're going for here is you're going for your knee to be positioned over the tops of your feet. You don't want to be too far forward, that puts strain on the knee, or if you're too far back, you're probably taking too big of a step. Now, one way to make this exercise a little bit easier is to go ahead and to do a walking lunge. So instead of going forward and back, you'll simply go forward across the space. Okay? And one way to make it harder is to do side lunges or around the clock lunges, where you lunge forward, come back, diagonally, and then to the side. Now this variation of the lunge is great for opening up your hips as long as you keep your back toe pointing forward. The next exercise that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the push-up. Yes, the classic push-up. It's a great upper body workout. So with the push-up, it's very important to keep your body straight from the back of your head to your heels. You want to be able to draw a straight line. You don't want your butt high up in the air, and you don't want your butt sagging. You want to keep your hands shoulder width apart, directly underneath you, so that your arms are perpendicular to the floor. You want to drop down till your chest touches the ground. Way to make it harder is on the way down, you go slow, and once you get down, you push up rather explosively. That's the way to add intensity to your push-ups. So you might be asking, how many of these do you do? Well, I like having you do as many as you can do with perfect form. Now, there's no sense doing anything and starting bad habits, so you want to do as many as you can with perfect form, and then take a rest and move on to the next exercise. If you want to do more, you can always come back through the routine and do a second set. Now, one way to make the push-up easier is to do what's called an incline push-up. Now, you can do this against a wall, or if you think you are ready for something a little more difficult, against a stable object, such as an ottoman or a sofa or anything that's not going to move on you. Now, this makes the angle a little bit easier, but the principles are still the same. You're nice and straight from the heels to the back of your head. Hands are shoulder width apart and arms directly underneath you, and you lower your chest towards the wall or towards the ottoman or whatever you're using. Slow on the way down, fast on the way up. Good. And a way to make it harder is to do a decline push-up. So you put your feet up on a stable object, nice and straight from the back of your heels to the back of your head. Hands shoulder width apart, down nice and slow, up aggressively. So that's the push-up, as many as you can do with perfect form. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to attack the core. So the next thing that we're going to do is the sit-up, the basic sit-up. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do what are called straight leg sit-ups. The reason we don't bend our legs is because that forces you to use too much of your hip flexors, these muscles right here, and actually takes away from the benefit on your abs. So we're going to have our hands gently behind our head. We're not going to tug on our head, and we're not going to curl our spine up. We're going to try to keep our spine nice and straight and lift the whole thing off the ground at once while keeping our heels pressed into the floor. You don't have to come up very far. You just have to come up till you feel a nice squeeze in the abs. And you want to go down to your shoulder blades hit and come right back up. We don't want to take a really long rest after each one because then we lose the cumulative benefit of fatigue. Now, one way to make this easier is to bend your legs. If doing the straight leg sit-ups are a little hard for you, or you feel like you can't really get off the ground, then go ahead and keep your feet flat on the floor, knees bent, and raise. Keeping your hands nice and loose behind your head, not tugging on your head. Now, one way to make this harder are to do elbow to knee twists. So in this one, you have your hands behind your head again, and you're going to keep your head off the ground, and you're going to alternate right elbow to left knee, left elbow to right knee, back and forth, keeping your torso stable off the ground. Good. So after doing your abs, we're going to move to our lower back, and we're going to do some back extensions. Now, the important thing with back extensions is not to overextend. The range of motion is going to be very small. So we're going to start by tightening our glutes. By tightening your glutes to right here, that's going to take some of the strain off your lower back and allow you to isolate. So hands behind your head, tighten your glutes, pressing your quadriceps, your upper thigh into the floor, and raise. Raise. And to make this a little bit easier, if that's difficult for you, is to alternate. Your right arm and left leg you're going to raise, and then your left arm and your right leg you're going to raise. And that'll look like this. So your torso is on the ground, and you're alternating right arm, left arm, right leg. Once again, as many as you can with perfect form. A way to make it harder is to do the back extension with the twist. Tighten your glutes to stabilize your core, draw your navel into your spine. Go ahead and bring your head up, twist, left and right. Twist, left and right, and down. So very good, guys. Those 4 exercises are fantastic for working all the major muscle groups of your body. If you want more of a challenge, you can run through the routine 2 or 3 times to get in 2 or 3 sets, like a circuit, making sure you get plenty of water in between. After we're done with all that, we want to go ahead and we want to do a cool down. It's very important that you take some time to do some marching in place, let your heart rate come down before you just go on with the rest of your day. After doing some marching for a few minutes, you want to go ahead and stretch out anything that's sore or achy so that you feel good the next day. So first thing we're going to do is a shoulder stretch. Shoulder stretch will be great for loosening up those arms after the push-ups. And it's important that you hold each stretch for 30 to 45 seconds. Each time you exhale, you want to go ahead and see if you can deepen the stretch a little bit. Stretching should never be painful, always relaxing. So you never want to push too hard or strain. Each time you exhale, see if you can deepen the stretch just a little bit. After the arms, we're going to go ahead and we're going to stretch out the hamstrings. For people that spend a lot of the day sitting, their hamstrings get really tight, which can cause low back pain. So very important to keep your hamstrings loose. One leg out in front, bring your other foot to the inside of your knee, and you're going to reach forward. Each time you exhale, you go a little farther down. If you can, bring the opposite arm forward and reach with it as well. And each time you breathe, try to move a little farther forward and a little farther down. And once you've done each side, 30 to 45 seconds, you're done. So get some water and pat yourself on the back for getting a workout in today, even though you didn't make it to the gym. Once again, keep it fun, stay consistent, and enjoy your workout. Thanks so much.